Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics and my name is Siddharth and today we are going to discuss or compare the civil disobedience movement from 1930 to 34 with the non-cooperation movement 1920 to 22. So let us begin this topic. Now the civil disobedience movement 1930 was a step further over the non-cooperation movement of 1921 and 22 in certain ways. So number one was that the attainment of complete independence was set as a goal. And during the non-cooperation movement, it was a vague goal which was remedying the two wrongs of the Khilafat wrong and the Rowlatt Act wrong, including the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and then at a later stage Swaraj was added as an afterthought. Then number two was that it involved deliberate violation of the law. So the civil disobedience movement was basically deliberately violating the law, while the non-cooperation movement only involved non-cooperation with the government organizations or the boycott of government organizations. Number three was that there was a greater risk for the people as government adopted ruthless measures to suppress the civil disobedience movement. And during the non-cooperation movement, we had seen that the government did not even take notice of the non-cooperation movement, and this was quite frustrating for the Gandhiji and his satyagrahis. Number four was that there was a much larger participation of women, business groups, and peasantry in the civil disobedience movement, while during the non-cooperation movement there was hardly any support from these groups. And number five was that the Congress became much more organizationally strong. In fact, after this particular movement in 1934, they broke away with Gandhiji, and Gandhiji started his constructive program. So, during the non-cooperation movement, it was just the beginning of the Gandhian era. The civil disobedience movement was a retrograde step in comparison to the non-cooperation movement in certain other aspects. So number one was that there was a much larger Hindu-Muslim unity that was seen during the non-cooperation movement because of the Khilafat wrong was involved in one of the goals of the non-cooperation movement, while the civil disobedience movement came after the Nehru report and Jinnah's 14 points and Jinnah parting ways with the Congress and taking over the Muslim League in 1934. So there was a much lesser participation of the Muslims during the civil disobedience movement. Moreover, there was a much larger participation of the labor organizations in the non-cooperation movement as in comparison with the civil disobedience movement. So this is how these two particular movements differ from each other. So friends, this brings us to the end of this comparison between the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement. And I hope you have understood the key facts about the comparative analysis of the two. So thank you so much for watching and do like and subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed this video. And don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications from UPSC Logics. Thank you so much and Jai Hind.